Greetings and salutations. Once again, happy Wednesday and welcome to WWT Live. I am your Councilman Pharaoh. I will be at the helm today, and we have a lot to talk about. First off, I want to say apologies to those that normally come watch Tuesday Night Pharaoh, the NXT watch along yesterday. We were having some technical issues, so we weren't able to get on or get on for the post show. So we do apologize, but we will be talking about some of the things that are happening on NXT, along with some other stuff that's happening across the board from AEW, WWE, and as well as Progressive Wrestling, who just made a very great milestone for themselves. But of course, I am not alone. Now, right now, it looks like it's going to be a duos episode. And then what better group than two people who are about to have a Thursday night war between their two factions? Who better than to be hosting this show today? You know this guy from All Star Fandom. He does incredible work breaking down shows on a weekly basis. He just had an epic review for Rings of Power, they do a great job with himself and Doc. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, let me make sure I have his stuff ready. Let me see where it is. You already know who's in the building.
It's Dion from at All Star Fandom.
Quite frankly, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
I was actually had to do the boom too, man. What's up, Will?
Yes, man. Oh, I'm doing great, man. How about yourself, bro?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. These are the highlights of my week, man. I'm telling you.
Yes, it is. Likewise over here, sir. So shout out to everyone that is in the chat so far. We got Eric Isaac here. Of course, our very own PR princess, the AEW consultant, and I guess the manager of Timeless Tony Storm. This Courtney Rice is in the building. Now she won't be able to join us today for WWT Live, but she will be here for the Wednesday night Dynamite watch along. So you do not want to miss that. It is going to be starting immediately after WWT Live at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and of course 8 o'clock over there on the East Coast. So make sure you still tune in with Courtney for the watch along. Shout out to the Prada Fiend. Cousin Ron is in the building as well. And then we got the Prada Fiend again. I randomly saw you on a wrestling podcast. I knew I recognized you. Well, appreciate that, and appreciate y'all joining in today, man. And so we do got some few things to talk about. One thing that I want to just jump into. It's last night's NXT. Now, NXT has still been on fire since they have made their transition to the CW. Y'all can still see that, so don't worry about it. Y'all have made it an incredible transition to the CW. Continue to do well. Numbers are still remaining high. And last night was no different, but different. Same thing.
Yeah.
But different. Because we, as I've said before, Dion, NXT for women is the place to be.
It's the deepest women's roster in wrestling. Just that picture alone, you're like,
and that's still not even half of them. I think that's
exactly. We're missing some. I mean, that's the older picture because I think like no, I got it. Okay, yeah. Even with the group we have right here, they could do a whole show. And the guys don't even have to be there. Like, that's how deep this roster is. We don't need them. Like, at this point.
and I'm going to be honest with you, we really didn't have them last night.
No, we did.
It seems like the NXT men took a break last night and was just chilling and catering.
Took
the night off with the exception, of course, Obafemi taking on one of them, D'Angelo family boys. I don't remember their name.
Yeah,
but one of them guys, one of those henchmen. And then of course Trick Williams and Ethan Page coming face to face, getting ready for their matchup at Halloween Havoc. But outside of that, the women were running the show. All right, and I don't mean just saying that to just say because just the women were there. Let me give you some numbers if I can, Dio.
Go right ahead. Come on.
We had over 26 NXT women superstars present yesterday on television within the 2 hours.
26 in 2 hours?
26 different women were showcased last night on NXT. 18 of them were featured either during or after a match. 10 wrestled in full matches, and not to mention they opened the show and main evented the show with, of course, the tag team of Stephanie McCurry, Julia versus Fatal Influence, and they absolutely tore the house down, man, making us so pissed when we saw the caption of going off because we wanted more. Now, I stated this before. Within the next 5 years, women are going to be dominating the wrestling industry. You're going to see women being the main event at Raw and SmackDown. You're going to continue to see it on NXT, and then hopefully Fake TK sees it and then decides like, hey, maybe that's something we should do, but act like we didn't get it from them.
Yeah, but that's a true thing too, Will, because you look at the women's division outside of like the four horsewomen in that era. They were like, okay, this is the women's division and we're going to build it off from. But it sort of took a little, it scaled back after that for some reason. You can feel like it fell off a bit.
Well, yeah, it was something that we knew. It was something again of them pivoting, kind of like the Cody Rhodes story. They had to pivot because of what the fans were feeling. Because you remember with AJ Lee, hashtag give divas a chance.
That was,
And so that's the question I wanted to have with, I wanted to ask you just your thoughts on this from you being somebody that has been in wrestling, nearly about the same amount of time. To see from brawn panties and just managers to sprinkle in a little bit Trish and Lita, Divas era, then to the anti-Diva era, shout out to Paige.
Paige on that one, yeah.
Give divas a chance, to the four horsewomen, and now divas now being called WWE superstars, and even like you said, to the kind of that slowdown, just kind of putting it on their shoulders, to now where we see this plethora of women talent in the wrestling ring. And I don't just mean just looking good either.
No, they can go.
These women can go. You don't get up anymore to go get your popcorn while these matches are on. You be like, yo, I'm like how I was yesterday. I'm pissed that I didn't get to do the watch along.
That was a good one.
It was a great one last night. But I just want to get your thoughts from being a fan that has to have been in so many eras of the women's division and to see where it is now. How, as a fan, does that make you feel?
Well, that's the thing. Like, as an adult, you would hope things would evolve, and this women's division evolved too. From, like you said, the brawn panties to now being able to main event actual wrestling matches on a show, on a pay-per-view even. Looking at this roster, I'll take this for example. I think they knew they had to re-up their women's roster after the four horsewomen. Because once they made the main roster jump, they got put in groups. Again, they weren't Triple H's kids anymore, which was probably the reason why it felt like out of place, or they felt out of place for a while. But you would hope that evolution came, and it did. And now they're restocking their roster, man. Like, this is what I felt like. It's like we got 3-hour shows now, Will. There's slots for these women to compete and have feature matches and have feature storylines. There's an opportunity there. And if you said, even though like 2 years back, 2 years ago, this roster wasn't this deep then.
No.
Not even 2 years ago. So now you see what you call it developmental. You can see what that sort of, how NXT has helped, because once now they're on CW, once these wrestlers make the main roster jump, we're gonna know them. Like, I can't wait for Sol Ruka to be in a Money in the Bank match. I can't wait for that. So, dude, it's not a bathroom break anymore. You have to sit there and you have to watch it. And I'm so happy because obviously adolescent Dion coming up, brawn panties matches, swimsuit, whatever, great.
We know what it was, yeah.
Little fights, put it in a video game, man. They even put that in a video game. But either way, as you got older, you sort of saw like, man, Trish and Lita can go, man. Like, let them do some more stuff. And then we get the anti-diva era and the give divas a chance era. Like their matches used to be 2 minutes. Now they're going 20 on a random Tuesday night, man. Like that's what I like about it. So that's that evolution, man. I'm happy to see it. It fills out the roster. It fills out the show. You can't miss a single second at this point.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Let's get into some of these comments and see how they feeling about last night's NXT and this explosive women's roster. And of course, as I like to call them, the HBK beauties that was featuring last night. Cousin Ron, can we talk about how disappointed we are in Oba's choice? Hey, man, look, he was just handing her jacket. That was him just being a gentleman.
I don't know how I feel about this. My wife's wife.
Okay, he was just handing her a coat. What do you? Let's not see what we doing. That's allegations. That's allegations right there. Right. That's allegedness right there that you throwing out there, cousin Ron. Eric,
come on, man.
NXT was on fire last night. Yes, they were. They were absolutely on fire last night. Boza, the women carried last night to the point they could have had an Evolution 2 for NXT and it would have rocked. Absolutely 100%.
Man.
Our producer from the future, not even the Cheesecake Factory, has this much cake on the screen. Lord have mercy. Like they said, absolutely. Cousin Ron, would you have been able to contain yourself if you'd have had it? If I was on there last night?
Yeah.
Listen, this would have been me.
Well, because you lose it, you never win.
Oh, boy!
That stuff is.
Yeah!
That'd have been me all day. All that night, that'd have been me.
Bounce when she walk, then bounce when she walk, bounce when she walk.
Is it good? The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want.
Clap when she walk, clap.
That'd have been me all day, all night last night. So it's probably a good thing that I wasn't on there. Folks, we got Evolution 2, Reason 1 to test Ronda for the main event 2, publicity stuff for the relationship with Saudi. Yeah, I mean, but
like the main event? Was
sure.
Ronda?
Yeah.
What was the one with Charlotte and Becky? Was that the same?
That was
what was that one?
No, well, I thought the main event was Charlotte and Trish.
I thought Charlotte and Becky, because they had one. What was that? Good grief! Now we have to pull it up.
Both you gotta, our historian, you gotta give us that. The division shows that somebody graduated won't hurt the momentum of the women's division. No, because they keep getting people to come in. So
and let's say this too. They're all like athletes too. The NIL, the next in line or whatever they call it, that's been a godsend to them. So
yes.
they're getting these wrestlers and these women like 20 years old in college, 21 years old, coming here training, not even getting on TV yet. But once they get on TV, they're going to be good to go. So that NIL thing with NXT has been like the perfect partnership for them.
Oh yeah, no, it really has, man. So I just think it's gonna continue just to rise and stuff like that. What's going on, Bobby? Courtney, note for the PPV. I believe it was Ronda. It was Rousey versus Nikki Bella. I do remember her being there.
Yeah.
What was the main? I'm sorry, I got to find it out now. Otherwise,
yeah. When did Charlotte and Becky go at it? I felt like that was something too. But it kind of stinks that they haven't had like an all.
Well, I know. Well, hold on. No, because I know. Oh yeah, no. She went up again. Yeah, she defended the World Women's Championship against Nikki Bella. That's exactly that is definitely the main event.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that is what happened. I think what we're looking for is.
I do not remember.
Oh no, it was the match before that one. So it was Becky versus Charlotte. It was the last woman standing match for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Okay.
And then the main event was Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella, in which
I did not remember that.
Because Becky and Charlotte killed it so bad that no one cared that the two of them were up, and that's just.
I thought the night was over.
Yeah. Oh wait, there's another match. Oh my bad. My bad. We didn't know there was another match going on. I'm sorry, but I look forward to seeing just like so many of the women that's on this roster, like go to the main roster and just what they're gonna do to that entire organization. So shout out to all the women in NXT for holding it down. Shout out to HBK and Ava, because obviously they know what they're doing, and I love seeing episodes like this. If I'm just being honest, I like seeing episodes like this, not just because it's women, but because they're all entertaining. All the matches are great. No match will sleep. Even the one between Sol Ruka and Katana. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Man, why I just was seeing her name. The one that's trying to get with Adonis.
With Adonis up there that walked out.
Carmen Petrovich. Carmen Petrovich. Yeah, that one was a great one. And even like, Sol Ruka hitting the soul snatcher, like all of these matches were great. The storylines developing were amazing. And so it's just shout out to all of them. Yes, Bobby. Yes. And of course to my client who is at the top of this division.
She's holding it down, man.
Which is why I say she's the best in the world. But that's just me. Today is Roxanne. Also, Roxanne Perez's 200 days as NXT Women's Champion. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you letting us know that. And just to remind everybody, show thanks to my client. Show thanks to my client for being able to open up this division. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, I knew
you were looking for that.
We just got to make sure y'all see it, then, now, and forever, and
she's got a lot of years ahead of her, man. Like,
is there a better picture that represents what WWE is trying to do? That's all.
No better one than that.
No better one than that, man. But I'm not gonna make this about my client all day. We're gonna keep moving because unlike the blazing matches and the blazing entertainment that they gave us yesterday, let's talk about somebody who ain't giving us no blazing glory. So it was revealed last night on NXT that Tony D'Angelo, of course, will be defending his newly won North American Championship against Obafemi in a rematch in a table, ladders, and scares match. But Tony D'Angelo has went to Ava and has requested that the North American Championship match should be decided by pinfall. The ladders, the tables, and the chairs can be legal to use as weapons. And after the events of tonight's last night actions, Ava has granted that request. So now table, ladders, and scares matches must end in a pinfall rather than the belt being suspended within the air. Dion, I just want to get your thoughts on this request happening, and what does this say about the champion?
It adds a different layer to a TLC match, right? Like it adds that different layer of like, okay, you don't have to climb the ladder, kid, make yourself famous, sort of thing. But the fact that he asked that, maybe if we go storyline wise, he knows he kind of snuck Oba. Like he probably knows it. He probably feels that way. Like, oh, I snuck him. I need a definitive pinfall against him. Because we know that first pinfall looked a little weak in comparison to what he should have been able to do, or should have been able to lay him or flat him out. But man, it has a different layer to a TLC match. I don't ever remember seeing one with the pinfall stipulation. So that should be interesting. But yeah, man, does Oba get it back? Like, do we just give it back to him now?
I mean,
after
what we saw Monday, anything's possible.
Yeah, man.
After what I saw, anything's possible now. But this is really how I feel about it.
This is bullshit.
You a punk ass champion.
Yeah.
Gonna change up the stipulation because you got your family got beat up. Like, nah, bro. That's the match you got. You take your match. Nah, bro, you take your match. No, you pinned him the way you pinned him. You came to the championship how you knew you came in, because while all of us know you cannot beat this man.
No, that's apparent. Like, he took the family out and with like the greatest of ease too, man. Like, it was just
like it was nothing.
He should run through. Like, I don't see thinking of Obafemi in a match like this with all those tables. Somebody's going. Tony Angelo might not walk out, man.
But then here's my thing too. Why would you take that away and try to go to pinfall when you got the advantage? Oba's a big guy. You putting a ladder and him having to go up to go grab the championship. That is a lot more of a challenge for him than it is for you. Yeah. But it's like you're letting your ego get in the way of this, which is so stupid.
Well, you're right. He could have scurried to the top of a ladder and got it down quickly, sort of thing, you know? But
yeah,
I don't know. Storyline, he might just want to definitively beat him, man. Like, okay, here's a question. If he definitively beats Oba, 1, 2, 3, no ultimate, no Hogan shoulder, no nothing, what will you say about the Don then?
I'm gonna know exactly how everybody felt when Jey Uso lost the Intercontinental Championship. I'm sorry, I have no faith that Tony D'Angelo can beat Obafemi. And even though I understand what Bose is talking about, like, why would he attack the family? First of all, the family attacked him first. Like, you're going to get in the ruler's face and think some stuff is not going to happen. And then also, too, we know exactly how they can get. So that's you clearing out your competition during that time, because that's what cost you your title, because they interfered, because they decided they wanted to say something. So you take them out. I'm just like, okay, if you defeat him, cool. I'd still like I'm like Cousin Ron.
Cousin Ron said it too.
I do not care that Tony D'Angelo is the North American champion. It is still not gonna make me go, oh man, that's somebody I need to take seriously. Nah.
So just another question. I'll toss one to you.
Hold on. I gotta do something for the mayor.
Give me the milk.
Oh! Give me the milk. Give me the milk.
Give me the milk. Give me the damn milk. Can't be worth it.
we already had finished talking about it before you got on, Mayor. But I got you. I already know why you would say. But he was taking a look at the milk. He wasn't ready. It didn't look like he was ready to drink it. He was just, oh, I see we got some whole milk on the shelf. Okay. Kept it moving. But Dion, please, what you was about to say.
I don't even remember, man. Okay, it was something about, like, what does Tony D have to, what does a Don have to do to be, I guess, I don't know, liked or to be cared about?
Change your whole stuff.
A complete reboot?
Yeah.
Repackage, I mean?
Yeah, bro. I don't. First of all, it's funny how they call Dominic greasy, and every time I look at D'Angelo, I think he's greasy and oily.
Oh, man.
Like, you don't look like a Don. And that's the thing. Like, you keep trying to convince us of this, and it's not working. We know a soldier when we see a soldier.
Okay.
That's what you are.
Did it work for you against Legado de Fantasma? Did it work for you then?
The spark was getting there. Then nothing happened.
Yeah. Then after that, it was, once that ended.
Every time it gets a run, like even now, like you having to go through the henchmen to get to the Don. Cool. Even like the momentum that you move in, like with saying like, yo, I requested this and stuff. Even this should have been a little bit different. Mm-hmm. It should have just been said, yo, thanks to the Don's influence, the match will now be this. It's like, what are you the Don of? Where's your power? You don't run nothing. You don't have no power. You just a goon with your cousins.
He does seem goonish, doesn't he?
Yeah. You're not a Don. You say the Don, you think Godfather.
Like this picture here seems goonish, man. Like it,
bro. That's what it
looks like. One of the henchmen off Hawkeye.
Yeah, you're the person I talk to talk to your cousin, who talks to the other cousin, who's the second in charge.
Yeah.
Then it's the Don. Like, I feel like the Don of your family is gonna come down one day and be like, hey man, we didn't see you keep saying this stuff and we don't appreciate it. And they take your kneecaps out. I mean, it's not a believable character.
I'd be intrigued then. Like,
yeah,
I'd be another came for the. Yeah, I'd be intrigued then.
Yeah.
But as of now, right now, I'm not feeling it.
It's not. It's just there's no creative to it. There's just no family thing. It's like, and then too, like you don't even talk about a lot of stuff. Like if you're the Don, why didn't we see you make your cousins the family? Why didn't we see what's the one that Adriana's dating? I be forgetting.
Well, you have what Stacks, and then
make Stacks a made man.
Oh yeah, you didn't do that when
you ain't even done
jail too.
You ain't even done none of that. Like none of them have been evolved or anything like that. Like yo, you a made man now. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can harm you. And then when it happens, it's like yo, we got this.
I don't agree with said on this one in the comments. The real Don.
Andre Chase is more of a Don than Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, no, you're right.
King Mike Hall, he looked like Thug number 2. Yes, he does. Maybe the Don can put the main roster. Then he just gonna get buried. He gonna keep getting BFTs from LA Knight, and then we're gonna never hear from him again.
Yeah, he wouldn't fit. He needs to stay down there in NXT for a while.
Yeah.
Because his call up is not gonna be like Carmelo Hayes, obviously. It's not gonna be like anybody. He could be a jobber by the time he get there, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then this shit, who's the lawyer? Why is there a lawyer in your group?
It's sort of like a Cousin Vinny sort of thing, right? Like a
Cousin Vinny didn't walk around while people was getting beat up. Like yo, group don't make sense.
You're right. I agree.
I'm like, how do I know more about the mafia than you do? How is my creative to your character better than yours?
Yeah, they're gonna have to tighten that up. But I can see them putting that title back on Oba. I can see that after these last how many weeks has been? 3?
3, yeah, actually. Yeah, about 3 weeks. And like I said, after what we saw with Jay, ain't no telling what could happen. And I do want to talk about that. I don't have a slide for it, but I do definitely want.
We really want to talk about that.
Yeah, we really go. I to get your opinion on it. You know, just how do you feel?
So what we said in the show on Monday, at the end, I think you and I agreed, storyline purposes, he was going to lose that title on Monday. And I felt like it was best for the story. But then after I slept on, I was like, he could have kept it. You know, and it could have been a loss against Jacob somehow, or a loss against Solo, maybe. Like, because
y'all are trying to break up the fabric of WWC. This is what you Cody Crybabies be doing. You just want to come in and mess up the whole fabric of everything.
Wait, what are you talking about?
They are on SmackDown.
Okay.
You can't do that.
Hey,
you are exclusively to SmackDown. You can't come take his title.
What's the tagline that WWE uses? Anything can happen in the WWE. That could happen somehow, Will. I'm sure of it. A handshake deal between GMs. Let's make this match.
So cool. But now let's look at this. Now let's say
SmackDown has both titles. I hear you.
And now a whole division on Raw don't get to compete for this title because it's tied up in the bloodline. Also, you could keep Jay as champion. And once again, I've said it before. Jay was a great face as a champion.
Very much so.
But yeah, Jay was not going to elevate that title. Braun Breaker as the Intercontinental champion is going to force others to step up. You gotta remember, this is a dude just came from NXT. These cats ain't no joke now. Him, Ilya, all of them cats, like Braun ain't nothing to play with, and he keeps getting better. So all the people in the mid-card division, R-Truth, Miz, Carlito, JD McDonough, like wherever you decide to put Finn at, all of them are gonna have to.
So you're saying like it was like Kobe getting an MVP trophy, like getting his MVP. Like, we know you should have gotten more than one, but here you go. It was like a achievement award, lifetime achievement award, right? 14 years, here you go.
First of all, I say in LA, and you are not going to get me in trouble with that. So,
I apologize, but people said I'm not. Okay, let me make this completely clear. Then this is just things that people have talked about where Kobe should have won more than one MVP probably, but he won one and he only has one. So this was where I saw like, hey, let's give Jay this championship that didn't progress anything. It gave you a new design. So why did he really have to win it in the first place if we're just going to take it off of him in 4 weeks?
Because you needed him to King Mike Hall, to answer your question. I ain't gonna put that up here, but to answer your question, that's not what I'm saying. Also, too, Jay is not black, so there's also that. But no, that's not what I'm saying with that. Jay got the title because of his charisma. So the charisma
he was over.
Yeah, so the charisma of him being the title holder is great. But let's keep it a buck. Jay's matches still need work. So you weren't going to elevate the title with those. It was just going to be a fun ride and a fun reign. That was it. But it's not going to make you push the needle. Like Jay would have not pushed the needle like Roman was because of that. Roman's matches are still something you want to see. Jay's is still getting there, which is cool. But it's like, yo, but I'm not going to say here's the damn title reign. What it did was it helped progress his story, because even though y'all upset now, I can tell you this. You're more believable in Jay now being a world champion. The taboo and the weight of that being his first title, he no longer has to worry about that. He no longer has to worry about that. You can now see him beat Cody for the title. You can see him now beat Roman for a title.
It was a legitimacy thing.
Yeah, that made him getting that belt, even if it was for a short reign, solidified him as main event Jey Uso now. We believe this guy can be a singles champion, and he only needed it for a month. Now y'all can wait. Now after this whole bloodline, now after this bloodline stuff, you can't wait for the chase for Jay to go for a title. You're gonna be so excited for it now,
especially how he stepped to Jacob on Friday. Especially after that, I was like, okay, this is a guy we can get behind. I got you, Will. I see what you're saying. I understand it, but then I'm like, okay, I didn't think of it your way. I'm thinking about this right live here, but it legitimized him a bit more because he had this moniker main event for so long, and all of his main event matches and title matches he lost. The world title matches. He's had how many so far? He hasn't won the big one yet.
Yeah.
So this was quote unquote his big one leading to. I see the point, Will. That's a good point.
And King Mike Hall, the fact that you say Jay's matches are fine goes to what I'm saying to you. The fact that they are fine. So again, it would have kept it there. It would not have pushed the needle for the Intercontinental Championship. When Gunther, look at Gunther. Gunther was the Intercontinental Championship. As much as I talk crap about him, because of that happening, look how it turned Sami Zayn and what it turned Sami Zayn into. It turned Sami Zayn into a beast. It made you now, again, as much as I talk shit about him with the underdog thing, in that ring, you saw that animal start to come out in Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn no longer looked like a dude that just got beat up, especially when you saw him go against Braun. Braun did not think Sami was going to get that to him. And Sami gave him that work. All right, hey, y'all can say it all you want. Go.
That's a really good. The Intercontinental title and the U.S. titles are very good titles for Braun Breaker to be going after at this moment. And now, since he's a two-time Intercontinental champion, you think about the matchups he can have on a weekly basis now. Whenever Bronson Reed is done, terrorizing cities and destroying towns, he'll be up for it. All that stuff is just, I get you, Will. I'm looking forward to both reigns. I'm looking forward to the story that they tell so far with Jay. And if next year this time we're talking about Jay as a world champion, we go back to this moment and be like, well, this is when we believed it, right? So
we believed it. Yeah. That's all I'm saying to you. That's all I'm saying to you as far as that. Mayor, that I see as an important title and giving Braun a chance to help elevate the title. Exactly. And then too, and then just to add to that with Jay's thing, once Jay moved into the bloodline story, it becomes a trinket now.
It's a prop. Yeah,
It's a prop. Just like the tag team titles on Gorillas of Destiny. And to be honest, just like the same thing with the title on Liv. You don't even care that Liv is the world heavyweight champion. But it's just a great story, and you now love her. Now it elevated her to be like, yo, I can see her now consistently winning world titles.
And even if she sneaks to win it, right? Like
exactly.
Even if she wins it dastardly, I expect that now.
And before then, you never saw Liv as a champion like that. You like, she may get one. You never saw it as now I can consist. She's now a top contender and competitor in the world title division.
She's made.
Oh yeah, you damn right. Hey, look. When I'm right, you definitely glow. But like I said, I don't say it to like knock down Jay. Not to say that Jay don't deserve it, but it's like we needed to get that. And we need, like the phrase say, we need to get the monkey off his back. We needed to give him a singles title. So now he is solidified as main event Jey Uso. So now winning the Royal Rumble, very believable.
True.
Main eventing WrestleMania, very believable.
And the thing is, like, he still has the crowd behind him. Like, you still have that pop when he comes out. You still have that crowd interaction when he comes out. As long as that keeps going and he still connects that way, he's solid, man. Jay's been throughout this whole bloodline story, from the right-hand man to now main event, man. Talk about a character arc for 4 years, man. That's been good to see.
Give me a great Jey Uso match. And I mean great. Give me a 5-star singles Jey Uso match. If you gonna say that.
Because I can give you a lot of tag teams, boy.
I bet you I can too. Give me a singles match where it was 5 stars from Jay. If you give me that, I'll shut up. Please give me one.
Man, he still got a lot of merch, and a lot of merch was gold too. So I guess we'll just hang on to that. Or
don't be mad. Don't be mad that you're a yeeter. Yo, it is a great thing to be behind. It is a great I'm so happy for Jay being single and taking off. Jay versus Drew McIntyre. First of all, which one? Because they've done several. So, as a matter of fact, let me not do that.
What else we got, man? What else we got?
I'm gonna be like Professor. I'm not gonna dive into that. But speaking of women and speaking of women on Raw, let's get into Rhea Ripley. Something else that I said was that's gonna happen, and that's what's letting me know.
This was 2 weeks ago, right? Like,
yeah. WWE be watching this. Somebody in WWE be watching this. All right. Somebody be watching this, because now we have been been told that it is a real desire on some level from WWE Creative to have Rey Mysterio. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Don't call that deadbeat. Don't say that deadbeat.
I'm so sorry, Rob. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was so dirty of me. No pun intended. But dirty Dominic Mysterio taking on Rhea Ripley in a full-out match is very much on the table and being considered.
Yeah. I think you may have brought this up 2 weeks ago, two and a half weeks ago, maybe. And I think you even had like the Intercontinental title involved in it too. No, this was around the time of China's 27th year last week or something like that. 25 for winning the Intercontinental title. And you even involved that into it. And now I want to see that somehow be involved in it, just so we can put an Intercontinental title on Rhea 25 years later after China. But at this point, Will, for this story to be completely over and done, they got to. Like, I don't see any other way to do it. Rhea being Liv will not be enough.
Nah.
She has to she's got to choke Dom out with her legs like she did on the she needs to choke him out. That's how the match is. She just chokes him out, or she makes him tap. I don't want it to hurt Dom, but at this point, nothing can hurt Dom. Like nothing can hurt him. He's Teflon now, man. But I want to see this so badly now. Even when you brought it up last week, I was like, that'd be really good. And now, since there's desires within WWE to pull the trigger on it, she's got to beat. Do we care if she beats Liv now at this point? because
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think she should beat Liv. I think you should keep Rhea from the title for just a little bit. It just so we see her in different stuff because I want to see other people become world heavyweight champion.
true.
So I would love to see her get pushed towards this and then moving into, like we said, getting the Intercontinental title.
Don't read it.
But I will say, just to be petty though, this is the only one. Like I said, I will say, if you can give me one, I'll shut up. This is the only one I will say was a great match: Jay versus Roman at Hell in the Cell. I'm sorry, all the rest of the ones you've named, Matt at 22, no, they were good. They were not great. They were good matches. They were not great.
Yeah, he and Roman tore it down. I'll give him that.
That's not 5 that you gave. Those were good matches. They weren't great matches. That one in Hell in the Cell, yes, that was cinema. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't say you didn't have them. I asked you to remind me, and our producer definitely did. But yeah, so hopefully we see it soon. But then also I'll ask, can we see this being just a one-off? Or do we see this being a opener for more matches like this?
See, that's what I don't know, man. Like, it's interesting that you say this because I just went down a rabbit hole of Mildred Burke. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She was a wrestler from the 30s.
Yeah, I was reading this comment.
Okay.
Obscurity and
Rhea. Come on.
Obscurity and Rhea aren't nowhere in the same sentence, paragraph, page, nor book. King. Come on now. We just said that.
She's got to be like a top 5 merch seller anyway on her own. But
number 3 in PWI and a woman holding the Intercontinental Championship. How does that fall into obscurity?
Well, we just talked about it, right? We talked about the evolution of women's wrestling and everything that we've seen throughout the years. But just to hit on the Mildred Burke thing, like she wrestled like 200 matches. Come on. She wrestled like 200 matches against men. And it felt normal then because she was sort of a carny. But for it to be in this day and age of doing this, I don't know, man. The women's roster is so deep. You can have so many good matches now. But if again, I say story, I'm kind of with Sid on that, with story being a bad word now. But involved with this story here, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Just don't give it to me just to give it to me. Don't Andy Kaufman me with just intergender matches. This makes sense. There's a history here. I think this could be that one-off, and then 25 years again, we'll celebrate again doing it again.
Okay. No, I'm okay with the one-off just because of what we talked about with NXT. And just how deep the roster is, to your point. Like, I don't mind this being a one-up. I think it's something dope to see, and then that be it because of the situation of the story. So I get it. I definitely will understand that. Hey, no one's deporting you because of the fact that because you feel the same way I feel about it. Like, you want to see someone else and then let her do some other stuff that don't involve the championship. And everything.
Yeah, because that thing, Rhea's won. She's done everything, man, minus like Money in the Bank, right? So, I mean, that could be a notch in her belt. That could be a notch in her belt coming up, because she already won the Rumble. She's killed it at WrestleMania. Like, she's checked off a lot of things on her bucket list.
Not finished the Fable, bro.
Come on.
Finished the Fable. But Rhea chasing the title all the time is hard to forget how sick the division is. Exactly. And
that's the thing. We still haven't got Bianca and Rhea, and that's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they haven't pulled that trigger yet.
So here's what I'll say to you, King Mike Hall. You should go watch Lucha Underground. You should definitely go watch.
You want to talk about a good time?
Yeah, because believe me, if Chelsea Green can be kicking people, kicking male ass as well as Io Sky, and how smaller they are from Rhea, believe me, Rhea has a whole bunch of people that she could take on with that belt.
And just seeing her lock Dom in that submission the other night, I'm like, yeah, Dom could tap here, man. He should have tapped. That would have sold it even more. That would have sold it so much more. Yeah. But no, I think a good one-off. However she loses it. But I think that's the only way you can finish the story between her and Dom, man. It's going to have to finish somehow, or she's gonna have to move on to something else somehow.
Yeah, but I feel like I feel like her and the Raquel thing, having a last woman standings match, having them go at it in a street fight. Like there's so many other things that we can get. Like her and Jade Cargill. Like I would love to see Rhea Ripley and Io go at it. Like there's so many other opportunities for us to see Rhea do stuff, other than just consistently week after week chasing Liv.
Yeah, and I'm kind of ready. Honestly, kind of ready to be done with it.
Exactly, because I'm so ready for this one. I'm so ready to see this match. Io versus Liv.
Especially how Liv has been these last few months, these last year.
Yeah.
I know who Liv Morgan is now. And I feel like I know her personality. I know her character. And the roster getting deep, man. Like
it is, bro. It's getting deep. It's getting big. So all we could do is see what's gonna happen. But you know, these are just our opinions, and we're glad to see the opinions from everybody here in the chat.
Oh yeah,
even from Boza. Technically, Rhea beats Liv by DQ.
That was just a funky finish, man.
It was a one, but it gives us a chance if they do have another one to finally end it. And I think that's why it should happen like that, with Rhea taking the fall. So that way it solidifies Liv as a champion and it opens up her for the rest of the roster to be able to see. Because I'm even too like recording that Lyra versus Liv.
There's so many matchups, man.
It's so many. Like Liv versus Zelina again in a match. Her versus Shayna.
Because when you look at this too, with Rhea's been tied with a championship for a very long time.
So long.
Like, all we know her is with a champ. Since Judgment Day, she's only had titles.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see how they book her not in the title picture.
And I think they're gonna do just fine booking her.
Oh yeah, she's made, man. She's made.
I think she's going to have so many great matches that don't involve the title, as well as Liv and the rest of this roster that's on there. Oh yeah, Liv versus Kairi Sane.
They might need another championship, man. Like,
but also too, to that point of what you just said, and people talking about elevating the title. That's what makes you get one with Rhea becoming Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, there might be another title, man.
Now you're forced to give them one.
Yeah, I mean the picture you just showed me, they can't fight for one title on each show, man. They just can't. It's impossible. So
that's why you need to know.
And you know what was so wild at Bad Blood when I saw the thing? I was like, oh, that's got to be a new women's title, man. I was like, again, the roster's too deep.
It's too deep, bro. That's what I say. But
it's the Saudi champ. It's the crown jewel championship instead.
Right. But man, let's keep it pushing because I know we only got into AEW Dynamite. Now, this is some interesting news about Javon Evans. There was a tweet that went out from Nathan Frazier of Fraxium, and this was a tweet that he put out in regards to Javon Evans. Javon Evans isn't who you think he is. He's been handed any and every opportunity on a silver platter since he got here, and now he thinks he's the man and can do whatever the hell he wants. He's a child, a petulant little child. #massive fraud.
So this is all storyline driven, right?
Oh, is it though? So that is the question. And that is something, but no, we haven't discussed that yet, Mayor. But that is the question to kind of put into perspective. If you've taken a look at Javon Evans' trajectory since it's happened,
given the stamp of approval.
It has given a stamp of approval. It has been opportunities given. Now, here's my thing I will say about that. Because it's given an opportunity doesn't mean that he didn't capitalize on it.
Off of it,
So, but it seems like a question could be brought up about that. Has he been spoon-fed a little bit more than others that we've seen, or is Nathan Frazier just being a hater?
Yeah, it's hater, man. Because let's be honest, kid's young. Kid just had a match with Randy Orton. Like, that's a dream come true already in his young career. If he stays on this path and trajectory, he could still be in this business, 20 years later too, right? but I hope it's like a work almost, like I say work, but I hope it's like storyline driven.
Yeah.
Because, and this might be another discussion for another day. I really wish a lot of wrestlers would use social media to push their storylines and beefs like this even more. I was like,
I can't do the other one.
Yeah.
How I can show that one.
Yeah, just to push the storylines further, man. Because when you look at social media now for them, it's like, oh, I don't want to see them with their families on a Sunday after church, man. I don't. I don't.
Specific.
I want that hate and that doucheness or whatever in that tweet, in that post. But if this, I don't know, this could lead to something in between. This could lead to something between him and Frazier, and could sort of give Frazier a rub too by pulling on his cape, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's what I get from it, because also too, Nathan is 26, so it's like, okay, so are you just upset because you got put in a tag team and you not getting these things? Like, what are you upset about, man? If you upset, prove it in the ring then, because I think the two of them would be a great incredible match.
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
So I do hope that this is what it's pushing to. I hope that it's not just like him being a hater, because I would hate for Nathan to be put off like that. But once again, like, I don't blame Nathan for what he's saying, because none of this would happen had Cody not fucked up the timeline.
Okay, we're going back to that. Will
you see the world we're living in right now, thanks to Cody Rhodes finishing the Fable.
Okay, so we talk about this. Okay, I'm taking Cody Rhodes. I'm taking the Cody Rhodes thing here. The whole stuff with Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, all that stuff. How they're not showing it on TV, doing all that stuff, right? What if WWE and NXT are like just inching a little realism into it a bit more? Like, I feel like morale is great at WWE right now, at least from what reports say.
Yeah,
Nathan Frazier going rogue and doing this just seems so out of line and out of character.
Yeah.
So what if we're blurring the lines again into what's real beefs and what's
I think
storyline?
I think it's a little bit of both. I'm not going to say it for this particular of the question that you're asking me. I think it is able to do those things, but worded in the right way, because even the way he worded this stuff, every opportunity on a silver platter since he got here. If he really had beef with him, this would have been phrased a little bit differently, because Nathan Frazier don't normally talk like this.
Sound like a promo, didn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like, hey, someone read this. It sounds like Courtney Rice read this before you put it out and was like, no, you need to change. You need to put it like this. Because there would have been some other stuff, because we've even seen that with Drew. Like, we've seen where Drew is like, okay, y'all got to know each other in order for you to have said this, because this fight words, this was me like, yo.
Picture with whatchamacallit.
Yeah, like, we ain't going to the ring. When I see you in the back, it's on site type action. So we gonna see exactly. So Thea Hale is sleeping in different. I didn't know that's what that was.
Come on, well, you got to read these things.
I like y'all listen, man. Why y'all are off the rails with the shit two of us here. He got fed the same spoon Nathan was. It's that the young OG didn't choke when it was his turn to take the bite.
It's all about taking your opportunities when you're given, right?
And that's the thing I'm saying too. Like, in his opportunities, he capitalized and he captivated the audience. And that's talent, that's determination, that's being on your stuff 24/7, and that is what Javon is showing you. So you can't be mad at that, but I do just hope it's a work so we get a match from them, because I would love to see a match between these two high flyers. Yeah, and then something maybe leading into Javon Evans taking on Axiom right afterwards. I just think there'll be some great matches to help strengthen the men's division in NXT. So we'll see how the story develops a little bit more, and see if Javon Evans responds with a tweet or responds on NXT. But of course, we'll always keep you updated here on WWT Live. Now, I
ain't gonna lie, man. I kind of liked it.
If you've been sleeping under the rock, like our trapper chief says, Ethan Page just took a page out of Trick Williams' book and dropped a diss track.
3, 4, EGO. Hey, come on, man.
He has dropped a diss track on the current champion Trick Williams, leaning more into the what he mentioned in the promo about being the devil. But you know what we're gonna do first before we jump into it, because I think the mayor may have something to say about this as well. This is a perfect time for us to take a quick break from our sponsors, because I'm sure this is something we really about to be.
This episode of Women's Wrestling Talk has been brought to you by All Caribbean Wrestling. Catch the wave. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views, or go on the YouTube page at All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1.
Hey yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen not knowing what you want to do like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www.talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
Don't make her fight you, okay? But yes, Dion, man, your thoughts on the Ethan Page diss track?
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I liked it. I thought it was catchy. If you know what it reminded me of, it reminded me straight up Lonely Island, Andy Samberg, Saturday Night Live. That's what it reminded me of when I heard it. I was like, I don't know, man. Am I becoming a fan? Almost like that's how I felt when I was listening to it. Hey, I liked it better than Tricks, man. I'll say that.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna.
Hey, man, you look to it again.
I'm not gonna say it was better than Trick Williams. I can't do. I will say I was not expecting it to be that good. I'm definitely not expecting it to rock like that. I was like,
yeah,
play it one more time. And then I was like, all right, play it one more time, just so I know this ain't the wrestling fan in me. Let's listen to the hip hop fan in me. Why did he kill this?
I know, right?
I was like, why? And then to your point with the Lonely Island reference, if Adam Sandberg came on here, I'd have been like,
end it now, man. Just
give Trick. This started to look like Drake and Kendrick now. You go have to respond back. You go. I mean, you got to respond back anyway, but man, this is
Oh man.
But so I'll ask you with this, we already know the charisma is there for both of these gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
But does this get you more excited for their match this Sunday at Halloween Havoc?
I mean, I like how he's taking on like this sort of devil persona, and pretty much how he fired shots again at him. But his promo last night was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
But does this alone is what you're asking me? Does this, like, if I'd never listened to this before today, would I still be excited this weekend? I think so. I think my excitement level didn't change or either way. But I think, hey man, you got a cool 16 bars out of that. It was all right. so I'm looking forward to it. But even before this, I was like, you know what? It didn't change me. It didn't sway me either way.
Yeah.
I like the devil gimmick though that he's doing though. He's like, if he ain't in all red on Sunday, like we missed the boat on that one. But
right. I need the ego red, all red jacket. I need
everything.
That would be fire. I enjoyed it, man. I think and to that point, and Trick got to come out in all white. You got to come in all white Halloween Havoc.
It's got to be very like Undertaker, Shawn, like from the heavens. From the hell, right?
Please do not miss that. Don't miss that, man. Don't miss that stuff. Dion thinks All Egos diss track was better than Trick Willis. This will be Dion's last WWT.
Hey man, this melody is still in my head longer than Tricks, so I've been humming it since this afternoon.
Once again, I can't say it was better than Trick. I can't say it was better than Trick, but it was up there. But ladies and gentlemen, I want do well. I guess too. This is the one that he would want played because we also have another elected official in here. So let me play the one I know he would want to have as his
Bounce when she walk, then bounce when she walk, bounce when she walk.
Is it good? The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want.
Clap when she walk, clap.
Is it? Hold on. Yeah, the mayor is.
Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Let's talk about this. I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm in the. I'm not Dwayne Johnson. I'm in the aluminum paradise right now. You know, ain't no iron.
Aluminum paradise. Out of all the metals,
Aluminum.
Aluminum. Yeah, we in the aluminum. You know. Happy Pistons Day to all who celebrate. Cade Cunningham plays basketball right now. I'm on my way to do that. But I had to come on here because I want to talk about this. And it was absolutely 100% better than both of Trick Williams' diss records.
Both.
And that's why I dropped my jaw. As a hip hop fan, wrestling fan, I had to separate. I was like, wait, no, this sounds like Ethan Page off script. This didn't sound like character work. Trick's joints sound like character work. I was like, Ethan might really. I gotta go see if he got some Daniel Garcia videos in these streets. He might be really like that. Because I'm like, yo, like, and did you catch the bar though? That he was like, just like something, me and you ain't a match. That's a reference to their matches being bad.
Yeah.
He called that out. Like,
yeah, man.
I immediately thought, I was like, damn, did Top Dollar write this round? That'd be cold if like somebody else wrote this round because it was that damn good. And that's no disrespect to like the new age of hip hop people. That's what Trick Williams, both his records sounded like to me. This just sounded like, nah, I'm gonna really bar you up with actual factuals.
Yeah, it was a diss track, a straight up diss track.
Yeah, he gonna have to come back.
I don't want to hear no more responses because like
Sunday,
Trick 0-2 on these records for me. Like, I just need you to wrestle better, sir. Just wrestle better. Because if I'm Higginbottom, belt going back to Ethan off that alone. The charisma is there.
So I will say, I'll ask you the same thing I asked Dion. Does this get you more excited for the match this Sunday at Halloween Havoc?
I personally don't believe in third time's the charm, but I hope that the stipulation helps it make. I hope the stipulation helps it make sense. Whatever direction they go, Trick retains. If Ego wins, I hope the stipulation helps put on a classic for those two because clearly they're doing something backstage at the PC to work with each other. They're just not showing up under the lights. I hope that all that pans out with the stipulation now, and like we can say, oh, actually, looking back a couple years now, say actually wasn't a bad rivalry. You know, up to this point, it's been like, ugh.
Dylan say, y'all, this is both of y'all last WWT. He said the real TK.
Which let me get this out the way, TK. This appearance costs money. Like, I want you to go look at this. I gave you your watch along. Don't think I'm not sending you a bill for this. Just so you know.
The invoice is on its way.
Professor already told me you guys went to the casino in the Bahamas, how much you cleaned up. Like, I'm aware. I'm well aware.
How'd you call it that? He said, no, I know what y'all was doing. I know how much this shit costs. But man, we go keep it pushing because I know we got 45 minutes to Courtney's watching along for AW Dynamite. So just a quick one. Hold on, Cedric, I think we get some feedback in your headphones.
I got you. Let me go. I know what it is. Give me a second.
Okay. But yeah, so we just learned that Progress Wrestling, both Progress Wrestling and Denied Wrestling have just announced that they are making a partnership with Thriller TV for a non-exclusively stream for their next 7 events live on Thriller TV plus global subscriptions as well. So Progress and Denied Wrestling are now going to Thriller TV to premiere their next 7 live events. Dion, are you familiar with Progress and Defy? And then also too, what does this do for them now? Having this deal with Thriller TV.
Yeah, a little bit with Progress, but wrestling's hot right now, man. Like it's a hot commodity, and the fact that they sort of locked them up because now like AEW's over there too, right? Can you get their pay-per-views from Triller? Is that it?
I believe so, right, Mayor? They're still
from
is AEW. Well, it's not. Is it? So it's Triller now, it's no longer Fight, or is it the other way around?
No. It's Triller now because it says
Okay, so it's Triller now. So I know that's how they promote like celebrity boxing, Jake Paul's fights, things like that. So I'm pretty sure AEW was in coordination with them post the Bleacher Report era.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think this is a big get for those companies too, man. Like the more eyeballs, the better, especially at this point when you have like those TV deals or like streaming deals now have become a commodity for wrestling. So, I mean, more eyeballs on companies like this. I mean, it's like a win-win for both.
Yeah. Yeah. Mayor, your thoughts on this partnership with Progress and Defy?
Very good look. A lot of good talent has came out of Defy and gone back to Defy. If you go back just within the past decade, I'm pretty sure Courtney knows this, but Nick Wayne comes from Defy. Swerve got his start out in Defy. They have a lot of good announcers, a lot of good young talent there. I believe Defy is based out of Northwest Washington. Not that familiar with Progress, but I have seen some events they put on the socials. So this is a big step for a lot of that new pipeline of talent to get seen on bigger platforms and stages. So the next era of wrestling can continue to grow, men and women's division.
Yeah, I agree. I think it just gives more people a streamline for them, especially like in these and even like hog wrestling. The more these, the tide raises all ships, and we're seeing that now with Progress and Defy. So shout out to those two and their partnership with Triller.
Bobby Benito is saying that Nikki Cross's husband is at Progress. Is that he was a part of Sanity.
Big
Damo. I don't know if he's going by Big Damo now or I can't think of his NXT name right now.
I can't either. Now that I'm totally drawn.
It's Damian something. Because last time he was at NXT, he was doing the thing with
he was wearing jeans.
He's wearing the jeans. He's doing the thing with the awkward tag team thing with James McCurtis. Oh God.
Yeah, because that's gonna bother me.
With Rockstar Spud. Oh, it's bothering me right now.
What's his name? Killian Dane.
I was off. Okay.
No, but his Irish wrestler name was Damian Mackel, and now he goes by Big Damo. Yeah. So you right. But his NXT was Killian Dane. But yeah, but shout out to them. So now something that I do want to bring up, and this is very interesting because we now finally get an opinion on this from the Almighty. The Almighty stated in a recent interview, kind of slamming WWE during the post-pandemic treatment of the Hurt Business. During an interview with, I believe, K&S Wrestling Fest, he spoke out about this, and what Lashley said was it was kind of a spit in the face. Lashley said on how he and the Hurt Business were treated coming out of the pandemic. We were never in front of a live crowd during the pandemic. A lot of guys sat at home like I'm not going to do this, or that it was us saying it's work. We're going. We did everything. We were on half of the show most of the time. We came out of the pandemic and people started resurfacing. Oh, I'm ready to work. What about the guys who were putting the time in during this dangerous time? We got overlooked and it was a little bit of a spit in the face. I'm going to start with Mayor. Mayor, how do you feel about Bobby Lashley's statements in regard to how the Hurt Business was treated?
I'm glad that we're finally getting some statements from the horse's mouth, kind of the focal point around the pandemic era, which is Bobby Lashley. And if I'm being honest, these comments sound like, hey, I'm ripping the Band-Aid off because I know I'm not going back. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, hey, I don't got to hold no more punches. But like, he's spot on. Like, it was a dangerous time. Of course, they moved things to PC to make it more safe. But like, that was a popular gimmick in that era. It carried the show. And then you didn't get much crossover when things got better, which was weird. I mean, you made Bobby a world champion finally. And then you had all these dream matches you could have made when things were normalized that you just, for whatever reason, didn't do. And if you want to be even deeper into like the tea of all this, is like all those things that people are saying about Triple H, it really starts with Bobby. It's like, you got a guy that you made just a few years ago. Why aren't we using him? Why isn't he facing Roman and all these bigger names and stuff like that? So where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm glad he finally told his piece. But now we're going to have a lot more dialogue as a result, because it was a product that people wanted to see more of. It wasn't like there was no demand for the Hurt Business. It was all over social media. We know they pay attention to social media by certain things they do on screen. Now, what happened with that?
Yeah. Dion, your thoughts?
I've thought about this way before I'm sure I'm not the only one, but thought about this way before he ever said something. Because the pandemic time, just not the Hurt Business, I think who was like Legado del Fantasma was a part of that, that were putting on matches. Like Austin Theory was there out of nowhere, being a part of a group there. But I don't think they treated anybody coming out of the pandemic well, man. Like they got them, Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business got them through such a difficult time, and you make him champion, you give him a group. I mean, he wins that WrestleMania like this, which I didn't think he was going to that night. And then nothing else happens with him. You break up the Hurt Business before they ever really got a chance to really run. Could have been Hurt Business versus Bloodline for a War Games match. You never know. That would have been fun. It's disappointing too, just from the simple fact that it's like said, you had a guy. You had a guy that you could put in these matches, big time matches, big, huge guy, and nothing you could find nothing for him. You put him with you sort of repackaged the Street Profits with him, and that didn't work. I mean, they beat up Rey Mysterio and still got cheered, so we wanted Bobby there. It's just that he had nothing. How could you not find anything for him is beyond me. But yeah, they carried that pandemic era, and to not have been like properly rewarded was what he's talking about. That spit in the face.
Can somebody refresh my memory? Was all the like the Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory, like pose off stuff? That was post
after
business, right?
Yeah, that was after the pandemic. Yeah.
See, that's so disrespectful that he went from that believable mainstream faction to like, hey, let's post some baby oil on you and like.
But see that we gotta blame Vince for that too, right? Because he was still in creative.
He was
when Bobby was doing all this.
Yeah. And I think it was more of, but you had more of Triple H behind the influence, and I think that's where it just. I think too though, like, but to your point, there was a lot of transition that was also happening that got lost in the struggle. But let me be very clear though, I think that you did do the Hurt Business bad by how y'all lived, because you did have a faction with them. The fact that you saw Bobby basically beat Drew by technical submission at WrestleMania 37. So like how y'all saying, pose down with the Diddy oil for Austin Theory for the United States title, and then never really put Bobby back in the title picture.
No, they didn't.
Which was like, I didn't understand why that didn't become a thing, but now it became about Drew. And now I think like Drew going up against Brock again. And then also too, like, Brock not really wanting to face Bobby. And so, Vince still being there. It's like, okay, so you bury him for these other people. Now you see why people are asking you these questions when it comes to people of color. Because even around that same time, I believe you had Apollo versus Big E.
Oh.
And then you remember Apollo's character. And that was just like, yo. And then what it was, I believe Bobby lost to Big E. And Big E cashed in. And then what happened?
Cashed in, yeah.
Yeah, and then what happened? Brock gets it. So it's just
And
kind of
Big E never got pinned.
never got
for
pinned.
the title.
And,
Well,
never
that
went
was the
back
night.
to it.
That was the night Roman had COVID.
But
Yeah,
and they threw Brock in there so we could get Brock versus Bobby and finally give us the match we wanted, which wasn't even the match that we wanted.
No,
because Brock wasn't into it, didn't want to do it because he knows Bobby will kick his ass in a real fight. You are not as strong as him in a UFC fight. That's why they never stepped in the ring together. And I think it is a drop of the ball. I think there was so much potential there that just didn't happen. But I will also say it's messed up too because there wasn't any young enough talent in the Hurt business. And I think that also slightly hurt them because Shelton Benjamin is a veteran. Cedric Alexander at that point now was a veteran.
He was the young person in the group though.
He was the youngest, but
they portrayed him as the youngest.
And look how long we've seen him though. He's had his WrestleMania moments. We'll never forget him versus Mustafa for the Cruiserweight Championship. So it's not like he was the next person that was going to be up as far as young folks go. So it's like y'all tried to use that against them, and that was wrong. It's like, yo, this was a version of evolution, and y'all didn't let it happen. And it's messed up that y'all didn't let it happen.
Should they have tried again with another version? Because I thought they were trying another version with the Hurt business when they added the Street Profits with Bobby, because that could have been something.
I didn't like it because Street Profits are still faces to us. Like it's gonna be
they didn't change enough.
They didn't change enough. It was just like this: be aggressive, and they didn't win. And then for Bobby, you never knew where Bobby stood when he got back because Bobby was still giving us but you still supposed to be like the face. So it's like y'all never gave him real direction. Then you threw B-Fab in there, and it was like, okay. Yeah. And you didn't tell us B-Fab's story. Like, what is she bringing to this group? And then you packaged them horribly, calling them the Pride.
That was.
I don't know which one of y'all is coming up with these names, but that and Pure Fusion Cocktail is not it. Let me all know that now.
Pretty sure this won't be the first. This won't be the first tell all of what happened with those four.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and
before I forget, all this talk about oil and stuff like that, Trick Williams, they're coming to your house before the main event this weekend. He's gonna get you out of here.
So hey,
that was your heads up. That was your heads
up. Another rain for Ethan Page.
So another news.
I can hear him laughing in this picture.
That's what you said. I saw. Listen, man, we got 33 minutes till Dynamite, man, and we got just one more story. But matter of fact, before we get into this, just because I want to make sure our producer got time to cut this, let's jump into the AEW's Dynamite preview for tonight. Moxley is here. Moxley is returning tonight on AEW. We're going to find out what the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion is going to have to say tonight in regards to his next title, what he's done to Bryan Danielson, and what's left for the Blackpool Combat Club moving forward. But it looks like we got a couple of bangers tonight as far as it goes match-wise. We have House of Black in action. We're also going to hear from Kyle Fletcher after his devastating I lost the word. After his betrayal. Will Ospreay and costing him the international title. We also are going to get the extraordinary Queen Amanada versus Camille. Hopefully this puts her back into the title picture against Mercedes Moné. And then we also have one half of the ROW World Tag Team Champion Sammy Guevara taking on Shelton Benjamin with MVP at the side. Very interesting match. We also have a trios match with, of course, the tag team champions, the Young Bucks, and TNT champion Jack Perry will be taking on Daniel Garcia and Private Party. And then we got this bullshit match, Ladder Wars between Mark Briscoe and Chris Jericho. Again, I don't.
Where's Courtney when you need her, man?
Right. I'm sure she's so excited for the Ladder Wars tonight. So excited. to be back on there, man. But I'll ask y'all, Dion, any of these matches that stand out to you that'll make you want to check out Dynamite tonight?
I'm interested in the Queen Aminata and Camille match. I've been curious about how they book Camille or how they've been booking her, but also even more curious how they book Queen Aminata in this one. So I think that one might be a lot. Again, we'll see Mercedes there. Apparently, she's in the background. Yeah, that would be the one that I would tune in to see. Because I like Camille in what was it? NWA. She was a powerhouse over there, but her run over here as the bodyguard for Monet has not been. I'm not feeling it, man. So, but I want to see what they do with that, though.
All right, Mayor. Outside of your clients match, which other one are you excited to see on the card? We already know that's number one. Outside of that, is there any other?
Oh, the screen is kind of small. I'm actually kind of here for this, like Sheldon Benjamin like resurgence. I think that's good stuff. The match with Leo Rush was really good last week. What happened? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, you just stop talking. Can you hear us?
Yeah. So yeah, I was just saying the Sheldon Benjamin match probably piques my interest the most. His resurgence as an in-ring performer, I think that's going to be good stuff.
Yeah, I think that's going to be great to see, man. Sheldon Benjamin ain't really lost a step, and especially going up with somebody as quick and as agile as Sammy Guevara, I think that's going to deliver. I'm always happy to see House of Black on TV, as just like Courtney has said, and I just want to see Chris old ass on a ladder just try. Just try. You know, he's gonna try. That's what we're gonna see.
It's gonna be a wall of Jericho on the ladder, right? Like that's how it's.
I guess so. So for some reason they want this man to be Ring of Honor champion for some strange reason.
Okay.
I wish Courtney was here so she could maybe inform us what's gonna happen. And I don't know. But it does seem like it's going to be a nice stack AEW match. Now, our mayor, of course, is in the Aluminum Paradise. So, it gets a little spotty with the signal and stuff, Hopefully he'll change metals so he'll get a better signal and everything. But that is going to be a stacked AEW Dynamite show tonight. And of course, like we said, even though she's not on here, Courtney is still going to be here for the watch along. So cut on that AEW Dynamite, tune into WWT and catch Courtney's reactions, discuss with her in the chat with the rest of the community. And I just wanted to make sure we get that said so we can make sure our producer Dylan is able to get the clips. And then our final story of today is, of course, Seth Rollins.
You can hear it, Will.
You can hear it. That was like, ever since you said that, like, you can hear it. You can definitely hear it. Seth Rollins is scheduled to be on Inside the NFL tonight on the CW network. It has not been said fully what he is going to be doing, but he will be making a special appearance. That is tonight at 9/8 Central on the CW. We already know that he is an avid Chicago Bears fan. So it is going to be very curious to see exactly what will be said there. And then let me ask you, Dion, as you said, with us kind of blurring the lines with the whole Nathan Frazier and Javon Evans, do we possibly get a tsunami invading
out of nowhere? Oh man, I didn't even think about that, because I was just thinking about the crossover.
Does Bronson Reed show up?
Man, he accepted his challenge, though, right? Did he accept his challenge? Like that match is happening, right?
We will be getting that crown jewel.
Okay, maybe if he hadn't accepted it, that would be big. But boy, Will, you should be creative on this one, man, because it's on the CW, right? Like a partnership there. That would be. Now I forgot what I was gonna say about him even being there. Like big football fan, whatever. He popped up at another game weeks ago and got taken out by security too. It felt like a something stage there too. But man, I would love if Bronson Reed did that.
Oh yeah. Boza's point, he's getting a chance to do his dream job after pro wrestling would be. He has stated he wants to be an NFL personality, which I feel like just leads more to my point. If Bronson Reed showed up and interrupted that, and just walked in, hey man, screw your dreams. I'll tsunami you right off of this little bitch.
Dude, it would be, you know what? Talk about like such old school wrestling, man. Like that would be so good. Like I could see the faces of the people, like the hosts and stuff. Like, oh, is this happening? Is this really real? Is this okay? Well, I want to see the panic faces of those people. But man, that would be such old school throwback on how to keep building a match, man.
Yeah, I would love to see.
When is that tonight?
That's tonight at 8 Central, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock on the East Coast.
I might need to watch that.
I had a picture on, man, just in case, man. But if it happens, like y'all said, I'm like, look, WWE, y'all need to hire me. Y'all need to go.
That'd be great.
Let your boy create some stuff, man. But that is going to wrap up this episode of WWT, man. I am so glad to have had you on here, Dion, and thank you to all the people who have joined on today's show. Like you said, we are about, I want to say 26 minutes out from the AEW watch along with Courtney, so just check back in with that. But before we get out of here, Dion, please let them know where to follow and support you.
Yeah, over on All-Star Fandom on TikTok and Instagram, All-Star Fandom here on YouTube as well. A few other reviews are coming down the line. Might do something with Penguin towards the end of the series since we didn't keep up with it weekly.
Hey man, let me be a part of that.
Will do. But yeah, other than that, just having fun on these social media and YouTube streets, man. It's been fun. Been a fun day. Highlights of my week right here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And likewise for me. You can also find me at Finished the Fable on all socials and all Twitch and YouTubes. You can find me there because everybody loves a good fable. And I guess we're glad that Cody got his happily ever after. So that's something we like to talk about.
Hasn't it been happily ever after? It's like he's got more problems now than he ever had.
Hey man, I mean we didn't mention the sequel. We just said the story he wanted, his fable he got. We didn't talk about the sequel to the fable. Talk about that first book. That book was happily ever after.
It was.
But make sure that y'all follow, subscribe to the WWT channels. Make sure that you comment on this video. Hit the like button on these live videos. It helps very much. Make sure that you also go and support, copy some merch from WWTTalkPod.com, and also that you support our sponsors, All Caribbean Wrestling. They just had a fantastic show, Fight for Paradise, this past weekend. TK and, of course, the professor are over there doing their thing, and we cannot wait to hear some of the stories that happened in the Caribbean between them two and what happened at Fight for Paradise when they return. But we would just want to also thank all the people who were in the chat today, like my tag team partner. I kind of like to not miss folks. We had Mr. Opinionated in here, Cousin Ron, Eric Isaac, of course, Stone Cold Courtney was in here, the Prada Fiend. Let's see, of course, our producer from the future, the real DM Hunk, my cousin Easy Knot, Boza. Appreciate you jumping in here, Bobby Batito, or just call you Bobby, because excuse me if I messed it up. Glad to have you up in here as well. Christopher LeClaire, thank you for joining. You've definitely continued to be in here in the community and talking, and we appreciate that. Just want to make sure I don't miss nobody else. Of course, King Mike Hall, man, much appreciated. Always glad for you to be here and voicing your opinions, man. You know already from my Twitch, man, your comments always matter to me because you tell it and you keep it real. Hasim Terrell, appreciate you jumping here. Of course, our mayor jumping in. Had to jump off because, of course, he got to get back to that workout. Bo said so. Matt at 22, man. Again, respect your opinion. No hate. No, all love to you as well. Love when y'all voice your opinions. I believe that was all of them. Oh, of course, it's Sendil.
Oh, yeah.
Last but certainly not least, Sendil, Aaron Teagle, and I believe that was it. Eric Isaac, if I didn't say it. But yeah, and if I did, special little nobodies. Again, I'm trying not to miss y'all. Jason Finch, But if I did, I do apologize. But thank you to everybody that commented on here and that consistently checked this out. Yeah, I said send deal special little nobody. So thank y'all so much, man. We appreciate y'all jumping on here every single time. And we will see you on Friday because we will definitely be giving our predictions for Halloween Havoc. So you will see ourselves. Hopefully you see Dion on there. I'm sure you will. Like you said, highlight of our day. So we'll be there on Friday. So we appreciate y'all joining us on WWT, the #1 women's wrestling. I forgot it again.
Come on.
I'm gonna get this. And it's gonna say it right at the intro, and I'm gonna be like, dang it. It always them last 2 words I don't remember. So we'll catch y'all next time.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's